The question now is, how sustainable can the government run a solid waste recycling business?
Even when you talk about recycling, you want to begin to break it down into several little components. You have the plastic, you have the aluminum, you have the paper, and all these things can actually bring in multi-million-dollar income if it is actually harnessed. But the problem in the country, apart from Lagos and maybe one or two few states, is that governments and governors don't have what is called the political will to want to invest in waste management. Most of them often see it like they say an African adage that says it is water. Water will always find its level. No! Waste will never find its level. If you don't manage waste, then waste will end up managing you. And when waste begins to manage you, then there is a crisis. And it becomes a disaster. And that's when you begin to spend money also in remediation. But you will have spent money in the right place. But of course, it is not spending money that is the initial thing. Governments need to put in place the right policy framework.
One of the biggest challenges facing Anambra State is that waste users find it difficult to pay for waste generated. For many people out there, waste management has become a great business where, if properly handled, can generate great fortune for the state.
Willingness must come from, you apply the two instruments, which I call the double E, the enlightenment and enforcement. All right, nobody wants to pay for anything. You have to make sure people pay for it. But they must have a sympathy for you, knowing fully well that you're in charge, you have done your own bit. Yes, the governor is showing the political will now, right now. The governor is already demonstrating, showing the people that, yeah, I'm addressing my own problem. But then people must meet the governor at a point. So it's a double E issue. You have to go on and let people know, continue with the education, let people know the consequence of not doing it right. Okay, enlighten them. Use any form of medium to get across to the people, all right? Then enact the right law to make sure that people must pay for it, for services rendered, not just to pay for nothing rendered. But there must be an institution that would drive it. If the governor is ready, yes, the institution must be capable. We must have the right understanding with the right institution that must go out. You don't have to sleep. Waste managers don't sleep.
The difference between us and Lagos is that the model we're adopting is different from Lagos model. Most of the things we are doing here are private, business-driven. They are not public sector-driven. So we want investors to come because they will make money.
Tons and tons and tons of waste being generated on a daily basis in major cities and in Nigeria as a whole. This waste can actually be converted to generate either biogas, which can be used for cooking, you clean it up and use it for cooking, or the same biogas can be converted to turn turbines to generate electricity, and you can generate several megawatts of electricity also from waste.
Just like the Anambra State government has started converting solid waste into fertilizer, experts now believe that the fertilizer from solid waste will certainly improve yield for farmers. One of the challenges facing the world today is food shortage. Climate change has also resulted in flooding, a low farm yield output, and many other related issues.
The yields will not be what is expected. Let's take drought, for example, on the other extreme end. When there is drought, and the crops don't get adequate water supply, they will dry up. Therefore, what that means is that you are not going to have enough food as you had anticipated. Whatever food that was coming out from the farms that sustained the community or the Nigeria as a whole will not be there.
The climate change, is worldwide. It's climate, it's massive, it's on a large scale. Like in our state, where you find these kind of problems, especially in the riverine areas, where you get flooding, flooding of the rice farms. So we help our farmers by giving them good notice. They know on time. With our systems, they get to know when we're expecting flooding, so we can concentrate on the upland areas. We cultivate rice on the upland areas. We do farming. We also prepare farmlands, new on virgin farms, virgin areas that have not been farmed. We help to do the land clearing and move our farmers to the upland areas. So that way, the effects of flood would be less felt. We also have erosion. Effect of erosion, but the farmers are trained to cultivate trees, plant trees, and help to check effects of erosion on the farmlands.
Because of the tremendous challenge of food shortage, the federal government of Nigeria and the African Development Bank is supporting the Anambra State government with about 1.6 billion naira to expand the agriculture program in the state.